I'm Danny Gallagher. I'm 1/3 of the Mocky Horror Picture Show. We are Dallas-based, or Dallas's only live movie mocking interactive comedy show. We take a movie, such as The Giant Gila Monster, and we get on mics and write jokes for it. And then while the audience is watching, we throw prompts up on the screen, so the audience can yell lines and throw props. We give them props so that they can make fun of the movie with us. And we've been doing this about 5 years, and this is our first film festival. And yeah, we're I don't want to just say excited.
We're pretty jazzed about it.
Yes. No, this is like our jam.
Yeah.
Movies, like I'm surprised no one thought of putting these like movies together as a film festival before.
Well, to ask the obvious question, who came up with the giant, Gila monster film?
Oh, that was Albie's. That was both of them actually.
Well, no, it wasn't my doing.
Oh no, you came up with the poster idea.
Oh, the poster
Sorry,
idea.
Well, no, I mean, who
Yeah.
picked that
Who picked the
film?
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Kelly gave us a list of movies that they wanted to feature, and this was.
The title
And they
was
weren't
obvious.
offering Batman versus Superman, so.
It wasn't made in Texas. Hello.
It's the one I really want to recommend.
I know, you and
No,
I.
this is like perfect. It's a Mystery Science Theater film, which all three of us grew up on, and I wrote an episode for. Right there.
Yes.
Sorry. God, I hate myself right now.
Which
No,
film
you
was
know
it?
your
Self-plugging
shameless
is just
promotion.
so like, oh, don't do that.
Danny,
Sorry.
which film was it that you did, Mr.
I did
Science?
The Mask 3D. It
Oh.
was the Halloween episode.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, the first
A
ever.
brilliant episode, by the way.
Thank you. This planet's caving. Sorry. No, it was like The Giant Gila Monster is the perfect movie for this kind of thing. First of all, it's not a Gila monster. It's a Mexican beaded lizard. That's true. And like that alone should tell you everything you need to know about the movie and Ray Kellogg. I actually think it's a good movie. It's got a gasoline truck explosion, which that's all I want in a movie. Every movie should have even Batman vs. Superman didn't have a gasoline truck explosion.
See, that's why we couldn't have
Sorry,
it.
One day that nerd show, we'll help you out in getting and fulfilling that wish for you, so you can rip that movie apart, and then we'll debate you.
You guys talk about your process. Like, do you watch the movie separately and come up with jokes, or is it a team effort? And how long does it take to craft a whole movie full of jokes?
We work on it quite a while. We tend to watch typically like a minute at a time.
Oh, wow.
And we'll be like over Zoom. We'll watch a minute of the movie without anybody saying anything. Then we'll go back and kind of make whatever jokes we thought of throughout, and then from there we narrow down which ones were the funnier ones, which were the better ones, and we kind of go from there.
Okay.
Albie's our newest member.
Yes.
Back before we had that process down, we used to just watch the movie over and over again. So it's been we've seen Reaper Madness probably 47 times.
By the way, I'm Albie Robles.
Oh yeah, and I'm Liz Barksdale.
Oh, shit. I thought y'all were gonna go after me. Sorry.
How'd you guys meet? What's your history?
Why don't you go next since you were the
Yeah,
before.
we just kind of met through the comedy.
You can say it's
scene
improv.
And, improv, yeah. Yeah, like Danny and I did comedy sports together for a little while, and just saw each other around at different improv and comedy clubs. And then Albie, you want to say how you came to join us? Or-
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I do voiceover work, and so I have a lot of friends that are in that community. And one of them had posted like, "Hey, my friend's selling tickets to the show," and I was just so excited to see that there was this type of show here in Dallas. I've always loved Mystery Science Theater, and when I went to the show, and I kind of messaged back and forth with Danny a little bit just about like, this is really cool. We should collaborate on something sometime. And And at the show, I went to go meet Danny afterward, and he didn't realize who it was, and so he just kind of shook hands, and I was like, I guess I can't talk right now. So I just kind of went away. But not long after that, he sent me a message saying, "Hey, how would you like to audition for the group?" Because they'd lost one of their guys, and like it was just I was so incredibly excited about the possibility of being in a group like this. You know, there was just certain things I've always wanted to do career-wise, and doing something like Mystery Science Theater was on that list. And so I auditioned. They sent me a segment of Plan 9 from Outer Space to do jokes with, to write some jokes for. But because I do the voiceover stuff, I was able to actually like record and edit my stuff in, and I sent them back a finished video with some jokes in it, including an edited in joke. And that was kind of what got their attention from the audition.
I'd say
So excited.
What sold me, we sent him the scene in Plan 9 when it's the general briefing the colonel in the office, and he plays the tape of the alien, and instead of hearing the alien, he plays Professor Novi reciting the Necronomicon. It just friggin' killed me.
Yeah,
And I was like, we have to get this, I was so funny.
Yeah, and since Albie's joined, we've done more little editing jokes like
Yes.
that, as well as audience interaction and just spoken jokes. So
It's a lot of fun
been
to
good.
edit
Yeah.
jokes in like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've been to one of your shows. I went to the
cool.
Captain America one you guys did.
Oh, thanks.
That was
Yeah.
a really fun show.
Oh man, I laughed my ass off.
I should have said, can I mention the other? So we
Yeah, of
perform at
course.
we actually, our home base, so to speak, is the Texas Theater in Oak Cliff, which you saw it. We actually have a show next week, August 31st. We're bringing back Mac and Me, and I don't ever want to see that movie again.
That good, huh?
Doesn't get better.
Well, now, see, I gotta ask, would you rather watch that movie every week or The Room?
Oh, The Room.
Yeah, I think The Room.
I'm going to see The Room Friday.
I'd watch Mac and Me again just because, you know,
Hey, it has
when we
its-
tease about movies and stuff and making fun of movies throughout, there's kind of, I think people these days, especially on the internet, when they're talking about a movie being bad, they're so incredibly mean about it. It's ridiculous, especially like Star Wars fans. They get so mean about not liking a movie. But there's also, I think, when a movie like Mac and Me, or like a lot of the ones we've kind of made fun of, yes, they're objectively bad, and then in that there's things don't work in the script, things look strange, that they weren't able to pull things off that they tried. But my gosh, you can see how much heart went into them, and how much work they put in. And seeing movies like Ed Wood, the one that was made about the making of Dolomite, that Netflix put out recently, you see the spirit that goes into these movies, and they are so fun to watch. And even if they're bad, but they're bad, but they're also very charming. A lot of the time, not all the time.
Mac and Me is to E.T. as what GoBots is to Transformers. It's like the B version of something great. And there is something to love about
If
it.
GoBots was paid for by McDonald's and threw a kid in a wheelchair off the cliff. I'm sorry, am I spoiling anything? Sorry, I'll let my hate go.
It's interesting to me, like, we got our biggest
Hope
crowd
I'm not like
at,
this on TV.
yeah, we're
Sorry.
ready to talk.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
We got our biggest crowd for was from 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie, and there are
fun.
very legitimate fans
Yeah.
of that. And my thing, this is embarrassing, but I saw Mac and Me and E.T. when I was a little kid. I thought Mac and Me was the superior film as a small child. So,
wow.
you know, thinks up their
That's
fans.
the audience it was made for.
Exactly, yeah,
Something like
yeah.
this fun.
Yeah.
Is that it's now the adult you seeing it from a different perspective. Let's put some of that
Exactly.
fun back into it.
Yeah.
But again, Steven Spielberg never threw a kid in a wheelchair off the cliff.
I mean, you got a
He-
bike and then you do a
Yeah, at least that alien could make the kid fly.
but he did throw Indiana Jones out of a nuclear explosion.
No,
in the
you're
fridge.
right.
But it is interesting that you mentioned that, because the stuff does work better with, you know, when you're a kid. And I remember like when we did Super Mario Brothers, that we brought a guy in who owned
Yeah.
a lot of the props, and he set up a table with some props from the movie that people could go look at after the show. but he was like a legitimate super fan of the movie. And when we were there, like about to go, like he kind of came up and whispered to me, "You're not gonna really say anything mean about the movie, are you?" And so I held back on a couple of the punchier jokes because of that. but
I mean, we
stuff
don't just rip. I mean, we do play. It's more like playing with the movie.
It really is.
It's not just. It's not just. Oh, this sucked. Like it's not hipster science theater 3000.
Oh yeah. No, but one of the things.
That would get boring.
Yeah. One of the things we've learned as we've gone along, we used to talk over the characters more when we were greener, but now it's sort of like we let them talk. It's sort of it's like a collaboration with the characters.
Well, a lot of these
The
movies,
movie.
what the humor in a lot of these is the unintentional humor of just sometimes listen to this conversation they're having,
Yes,
the things
yeah.
they're saying, and how they're delivering these lines, and you don't need the jokes. It's charming and it's funny, and I just love to listen to it sometimes. And sometimes if a conversation is particularly long where we can't get a joke in, that's when we'll kind of edit in a joke. I remember when there was a particularly long scene in Reefer Madness where they're just talking, and it's a funny conversation to just listen to. But we put in a scene from Rear Window. You see, you see him like look out the window.
Jimmy Stewart looking at
He holds up his binoculars, and we cut back to the scene of them talking. But now there's like the binoculars, like they're looking through them. And so it made this long scene work. It was very fun.
That's great.
Do you feel like after you've kind of mocked a film that there's a new appreciation for it, a new love,
Oh yeah.
even though it's a
Very much.
terrible movie?
Yes.
Very much. Yeah, I think that for all the movies we've written stuff.
I mean, again, we shouldn't make you watch Mac and Me again. However, there's something wonderful about kind of how horrible it is compared to something lovable like E.T.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
my kids, I got them into Mystery Science Theater through the Netflix episodes, and they just loved it, but they particularly loved the Mac and Me episode, and from time to time watch the episode and make sure that there are no jokes that we made that they made.
Right.
And if there is, it's happened a couple times, we go, okay, we need to write a new joke for this part because they already said this.
Besides Batman versus Superman, is there a movie that you just can't wait to do? And this is actually a two-part question, but I just want to.
Oh, okay. I really want to do Doom.
Oh, the night.
Rock. Yeah. Because I think this year's like the.
Oh, Doom! I thought you said
Doom.
Doom.
No, not Doom. Yes, I want to lock it on an audience in I think I said Dune. Right?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the David Lynch
Sorry.
Dune. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to lock an audience in a theater for 4 hours. It's actually my dad's favorite movie. It's a good book. No, Doom, D-O-O-M, the one with The Rock, the awful video game remake. Because I think this year's, I'm trying to get that one next, but we're not
Well,
sure.
that is a wonderfully horrible movie.
It's
And,
perfectly horrible. It's like, and I know we just did a video game movie, but
yeah.
I love Doom that much that I feel
So
like-
here's the second part of my question.
Oh, what about,
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me.
I think for me, I don't think I've even brought it up yet. I got to do the voice work for a couple of movies that were. It's funny, and when one of them was on camera a little bit, and now they're on Tubi, and you would think like I would start putting, hey everybody, I've got these movies up, but I don't because they're so bad. And so I think it would be very fun to get up and then riff something I was in. There, one's called Arachnado, and the other one is called Demonoids. Which was really fun to do, that one especially, because I always wanted, I kind of made those goals for myself. One of them was I wanted to voice little kind of gremlins type monsters, and I got to do that in that. But boy, if you ever take the time to watch them, God help you. They're kind of a slog, but they're very, very fun as well.
Yeah, it's like I don't have a good answer for it, and I feel like we're limited by like doing stuff at Texas Theater has been great because we get the rights to do movies. We used to just have to do public domain, but I found out about one the other day. It's like a werewolf romance with
Blood and
CGI.
Chocolate?
I don't know. It's a really bad movie site too. I can't think of it.
Oh,
Look
man,
that
it's
one up.
Twilight.
No.
No, there is really a movie that's called like Blood and Chocolate or something.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that might be something like that.
Hugh
I was
Darcy, the
Twilight.
actor from the Hannibal series, he's like the main guy in that movie.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's absolutely terrible. So here's the second part of my question, and it was a trivia question we did not too long ago. The question was, name the two movies, two summer blockbusters of Disney that came out the same year that were bombs. And it was 1986. Flight of the Navigator and Space Camp.
I didn't know they did.
Both of them came out.
I
Yeah.
didn't know Flight of the Navigator was a bomb.
Technically it is. They didn't.
That's brilliant.
I know that.
Yeah, I agree. But out of those two, if there's one that you could spoof or mock, which one would you pick?
Space Camp.
I love Flight of the Navigator, but
I actually like both.
I think I'd like to do that one. Seems more spoofable because I've seen a lot of movies like by different groups that do this. That I've seen like riff tracks do the Matrix movies I like, and I think it's possible to riff a movie that you genuinely like because there's humor to be found in everything.
Right.
Yeah, I think it would be super fun to do Flight of the Navigator. It would be very fun.
Yeah, I think I'd go with Flight of the
I'd quit.
Navigator too.
Love the movie.
See,
No,
but
I wouldn't quit. I think Paul Rubens does the voice of
Yes.
the
Yeah.
thing, and I just feel like I'm never gonna be funnier than Paul Rubens. He's just great in everything.
see, I could see more
And I'm not just
Space.
saying that because he's just passed away.
No, I can see more of Space Camp because it is very, very cheesy, but it's also very heartwarming. And with it being Joaquin Phoenix's very first movie as the Star Wars kid, I feel like we're all that kid.
Yes.
You know, we would be at Space Camp in the 80s, you know, everything that we'd say would be from Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it's the robot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we have about 5 minutes
Sorry, I didn't
left.
mean to take up too much time.
Is there anything else that you guys want to cover about Giant Gila Monster or how the process works, or are y'all bringing props for this one?
Oh, I should have brought. We haven't come up with props.
But
Okay.
we will,
We
yeah.
Okay.
will.
It's
Yeah.
part of that's something we come up with as we go through the process.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we always bring props though.
We do, every Monday night at 7 PM, we do stream on Twitch. We'll pick a movie, usually tailored to whatever movie's coming up. And so, because we have Mac and me, we're doing all alien movies. And actually last Monday, I found an episode of Unsolved Mysteries that was all
wow.
stories about alien. And I was like, we have to do that.
That's cool.
And then we do it and we realize we're kind of like these people actually believe they're abducted. And then we started to feel like actual sympathy for them.
Oh.
Don't forget,
Like, it was
too.
like, should we be doing, this feels like something.
If you're on an alien theme, September will be the official 30th anniversary of the X-Files, and they did
Right.
make two movies.
Oh man,
Oh.
That's what our featured article is in that issue is.
I loved the X-Files.
Hey, I've got a poster hanging in my office, I want to believe.
Yes.
Sir, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Well, something I'm looking forward to hearing you guys talk about in Giant Gila Monster is I once presented a showing of it as an example of probably the worst special effects
Oh, yeah.
in the history of
gosh.
Hollywood. So I'm expecting you guys to have some.
Oh, we're gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Which, was it Dallas that was shot, or was it further, more desert?
What?
Where they shot Giant Gila Monster?
Um,
I want to say it was more like
Like
El
Dallas?
Paso.
I wrote it
Up
in
there,
here.
I think Dallas area, I think,
Man,
I wrote it.
like up a little bit north of here.
It's pretty. That's
Because it's all like, it reminds me of like Big Bend, a lot of the
It
scenes.
says filmed in Dallas and on Lake Dallas.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Ooh.
all right, now we're gonna bring out somebody dressed like the Gila Monster.
I wish we thought of that.
So
Well, why is the Gila Monster
there's
strangling
not a
everybody?
single shot in it showing a human and a Gila Monster in the same
Right.
place.
That's great.